Welcome to Channel AMAC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side, so once we have all the updates and news, be the first one getting all the insight. Now, you may notice that I'm actually traveling at this moment, but I do intend to keep everybody updated with all the information. Now, these few days, there has been numbers of media release, and also there's some strategic proposal from the well-known Grattan Institute, which you may notice for the Migration Review report. The immigration actually take most of the recommendations, so they are doing another one. Well, I would like to take you to have a look at that one too. Now, first of all, I would like to share with you with this news. This is actually the came out of the weekend that the current government is looking to ban commissions for the education agent who bluntly trying to brokerage in getting the international student coming on board, and then changing the education providers that the Labor government believe it's about time to crack the down. So as you can read the news, title says Labor to ban agents being paid. Poaching international student amid wider crackdown. So these are the so-called agencies. Now, you may want to have a Google to check out the actual news. It's predominantly talking about Indian agent, but I don't want it to be too much into the the nationality. But currently, there's just a lot of Indian agents are doing that. I noticed there are other Chinese agents doing that too. But just bear in mind, if you're coming to Australia and you enroll into university, and then that is not your full intent. Your intent is actually to transfer into another college or institution that is not in higher education. Now, that is going to be banned. So I'm not too sure how they're going to catch these agents, whether they are genuine or they are non-genuine, and how would the ban actually occur. Let's wait for the actual policy to be out. So you may want to do a little bit of the reading there, but it's currently just the news. But obviously there will be definitely a policy to be out, but don't know about how they're going to implement that. Now, the other one is the interesting one. It's the from Grattan Institute again. Let me move that into a middle. You may want to do a Google search as well. Now, it's a lengthy document, consists of 62 pages. I don't know anyone will actually have a time to actually have a read, but I'd like to take you a glimpse of the recommendations. So as you can read, the title reads graduate in limbos. So what does that mean? Now, basically, it's talking about international students graduated in Australia, and there were too many of them, and how many of them actually successfully obtained permanent residency, skill migrated, is actually limited. So this report is basically talking about limited the number, so that they want a good students. If you cannot achieve, if you cannot get the desired grades or level, or perhaps the job in your career, then what this proposal is basically, a recommendation basically is suggesting that the government of Australia should really ask those graduates just go back to their countries. Okay, so let's have a read on the actual recommendation. So this is a little bit of overview. Now, this obviously you probably can't even read it. It's too small if you're using your phone. But let me go into each of the recommendation and read them out for you. Okay. So the first recommendation is pretty simple, and I'm pretty welcome. This one is rename. So the first one is rename the temporary graduate visa to post-study work visa. Well, that doesn't make any differences, so it will be a PSW visa. Okay. Second, create a university graduate visa stream to replace PSW stream. well, it's just which is the same, and that is available for all tertiary graduate with a duration of 2 years for bachelor. So they are basically telling us not to give international graduate as many years as what they propose used to be. So only 2 years for the bachelor and master by course, 3 years for master by research, and 4 years for PhD. Scrap the 2-year extension right for graduate and tertiary degree nominated area or shortage. So that is exactly what the Labour government already done. Remember that 3,600 blah 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 courses when you're enrolled in there, they'll add another 2 years. Now the recommendation here is basically saying scrap that, dump it, it's no good. Okay. And secondly, scrap the 1 to 2 year extension work right for the graduate who study and work in regions. That means regional areas. Okay. So they're gonna scrap that. So that's the second. That remember, if you get a 485 visa and you study and work in regional area, they get you another extension there. Now they are telling us scrap that as well. We don't want so many international graduates left in Australia. Well, if they cannot find any work, then probably. But here is the debate. Now, giving more time actually provide the graduate more opportunity to find work, right? But they are actually talking about shrinking the time to a medium-sized time frame. If you cannot find job and work during that time, please go. Okay, that's basically what this recommendation is talking about. Replace the graduate work visa to vocational work. So that's basically telling us the graduate visa will definitely for the vocational graduate. So that's the vet courses, cookery or the mechanics and things like that, carpentry, and the list on the medium long-term strategic list. Whether or not that list is still going to be there, because they're talking about they're going to scrap the whole occupation list. But anyway, see how that goes. The visa should last 2 years rather than 18 months. Remember, so this recommendation just came out basically telling the current government to go back to a lot of things. And also the government was the graduate work visa was actually 2 years. They turned it back to 18 months. Now this recommendation is telling us you got to turn back to 2 years, because that's not gonna enough for the vocational graduates. Okay, so that's basically what I think that's pretty welcome. That's that one there. Now, number 4, make the post-study work visa holder full-time job earning more than 70,000 to be eligible for 2-year extension. So rather than select a particular course to get that 2-year extension, if you can get a job with 70,000 per annum, you get another 2-year extension. And limit the temporary graduate visa people age down to 35. Now, currently it's 50 years old, but I think it's debatable. But what about the PhD people? A lot of PhD, they come in their 40s. Now that means once they graduate, they gotta go. So I'm not too sure how this will actually be implemented. And PhD, you need to study about 4 years. Remember? Okay, number 6, raise the English language from 6 to IELTS 6.5. Number 7, automatically. Let's have a look. Automatically get the PSW work once they complete the study. So that's being talked about on the migration review report. Establish exceptional talent graduate permanent visa to be offered to the most talented international students. Immediately upon graduation, eligibility should be determined by expert panel and by the Department of Home Affairs, and based on the criteria such as the award, publication, and other measures. So I don't know how that's going to be implemented. Number 9, reform temporary permanent skill visa. Allow employer sponsored work in occupation for temporary visa. Has a salary of 70,000 above. Okay, and abolish the labor market. So this is actually aligned with what's coming up with the employment sponsor. So that's already done, I believe. Allow employer sponsored work to an occupation list in any occupation. So basically this is talking about there's no more medium long term and there's no more short term. So I'm not too sure how that recommendation 10 will align with recommendation 3, where there's still talking about medium long term strategic skill list. Now 11, replace a separate permanent point is that's gonna happen, and that is why I believe that a lot of state nomination has been turned down 70%, and we're basically waiting for the upcoming ones. Okay, and 12, help international grad. This is not really relate to us. This is more about settlement. There's gonna be a lot more government to work and to help the campaign. Universities should provide more settlement support. The federal government should regularly push detailed tables and also help with the state government for public sector graduates. Federal government should replace fortnight cap. So this is basically telling us that the working hour per week will pull up to about average 30 hours a week. So that's basically what we are looking at today. Now, I just wanted to, although I'm traveling currently, but I'd like to give that update for you. Anyway, should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below. And I'll see you next video. Goodbye.